A few things I did not inherit from my father. His green thumb, his love of hee-haw and Hank Snow and Ernest Tubb, and All in the Family reruns, which he watched 2 or 3 times a day. And his nose, a magnificent proboscis, which, happily, does not adorn my face. A few things I did inherit: his square jawline, a love of music of all kinds, and reading, especially memoirs and history. And this, a circa 1941 Hull pottery bud vase that he gave me about 10 years ago. And with it, he gave me this story. In 1941, when Pa was 10 years old and living on a farm outside of Ortley, South Dakota, he went with his father to Ole Markvy's store to buy his mother a birthday present. Interestingly enough, Ole's store was right across the street from his cousin Olaf's store. I can't make this stuff up. What was remarkable was that he was buying a gift for my grandmother, Frida, who in later years he spoke of only with disdain. Her face literally always looked like that. I have no memories of her smiling, nor could I find any photographs where she was smiling. But this story takes place before she decided my father wouldn't go to high school, before she expressed her dislike of my beautiful mother, before she decided that my father's children were unworthy of her affection. When she died on New Year's Day of 1972, I, almost 8, did not shed one tear. But this is my father's story. On the day he went into Ole's store, he carried only a dime to spend, and he asked Ole for recommendations, and he showed him Evening in Paris cologne, a good choice, but too expensive. And then Ole showed him some weather stripping, which didn't really seem appropriate for a mother's present. And then Ole pointed to a low table filled with Hull pottery, vases and ashtrays and other assorted tchotchkes, and unfortunately they too, at 15 cents, were overpriced. But Ole told Pa he could pick out an inexpensive one and he could sell it to him for a dime. And this is the pretty little bud vase he picked out and gave to his mother, and now he was giving it to me. Oh, but wait, he said, there's one more thing I need to show you. And he turned the vase over. There, on the bottom, in Ole Markvy's handwriting, was the number 15, the original price of the vase. Ain't that something? Pa asked, and I agreed. That tiny, penciled-in price had survived for more than 65 years. The vase now holds a permanent spot in my china cabinet in my dining room. The little girl in that picture is my now 24-year-old stepdaughter, who will someday hear this story, and I will hand the vase down to her. Pa gave me a lot of stuff over the years, from books to antiques, but this is the one item he gave me that had a story that told me something about him as a little boy, before he grew up and farmed and found my mother and went to Korea and became a father of 7 and grandfather to 21 and great-grandfather to 22, long before he realized how unhappy his mother was and how unhappy she made others. He was a little boy who loved his mom enough to buy her a 10-cent birthday present. The little vase speaks to my heart, and as much as it means to me, I would give it and everything I have just to sit and visit with him and maybe watch an old rerun of Hee Haw or all in the family. I miss him so.